The Lost and Found Path of Tom.
Chapter 1. A Reward for Excellence. Tom had always been a bright and disciplined student. Since childhood, he had a passion for learning, and his dedication helped him achieve top grades every year. His parents, Mr. and Mrs. Mehta, were extremely proud of him, but were also busy professionals, often caught up in work. The 10th board exams were the most crucial phase of his academic journey, and Tom worked harder than ever. He studied late into the night, avoided unnecessary distractions, and stayed away from social media and games. His teachers had high hopes for him, and he did not disappoint them. When the results were announced, Tom had scored exceptionally well, securing one of the highest ranks in his school. His parents were overjoyed. "You deserve a special gift, Tom," his father said, handing him a neatly wrapped box. Tom's eyes lit up as he tore open the package. Inside was a brand new smartphone, the latest model. "Wow! Thank you, Dad. Thank you, Mom," he exclaimed, hugging them both. His father patted his shoulder. "You worked hard for this. But remember, use it wisely." Tom nodded eagerly. At that moment, he had no idea how much this small device would change his life. Chapter 2. The World at His Fingertips. At first, Tom used his phone only for useful purposes, educational apps, school projects, and research. He enjoyed learning new things at the touch of a button. But soon, he discovered something even more fascinating: social media, online games, and entertainment apps. His friends added him to various WhatsApp and Instagram groups where they shared memes, jokes, and videos. One evening, his best friend Sam messaged him, "Tom, download this new game. It's super fun." Tom hesitated but decided to try it. Within minutes, he was hooked. Just one more level, he told himself. Chapter 3. The Silent Transformation. Tom's daily routine began to change, though he didn't realize it at first. Before, he used to wake up early, revise his lessons, and plan his day. Now, he stayed up late playing games and scrolling through social media. Mornings became rushed, and he skipped his study sessions. "Tom, you seem tired these days," his mother observed. "Are you sleeping well?" "Yeah, Mom. Just a little tired," he lied, hiding the dark circles under his eyes. His father also noticed something was off. "Why are you always looking at your phone, Tom?" "I'm just checking some notes," Tom replied quickly. His parents were too busy with their work to dig deeper. They still believed Tom was the same disciplined boy. But in reality, the old Tom was slipping away. Chapter 4. The First Signs of Trouble. The first real sign of Tom's decline came during his midterm exams. Before getting the phone, he had always been the best in his class. But this time, when the results were announced, he had barely managed to pass some subjects. His teacher, Mrs. Sharma, looked at him with concern. "Tom, what happened? This isn't like you." I just didn't prepare well," he mumbled. His friends were also surprised. "Tom, you used to help us study. Now you barely revise," one of them said. But Tom dismissed their concerns. "I'll study harder next time," he assured himself. But the next time never came. His addiction had taken control of him. Chapter 5. The Wake-Up Call. One day, Tom's parents attended the parent-teacher meeting, expecting to hear praise about their son. Instead, Mrs. Sharma sighed and said, "Mr. and Mrs. Mehta, I need to discuss something serious with you." They exchanged nervous glances. "Is everything okay?" his mother asked. "I'm afraid not," the teacher replied. Tom was one of our top students, but lately, his performance has declined. He seems distracted. I suspect he is spending too much time on his phone. Tom's parents were shocked. Are you sure? He studies every day, his father said. I'm sorry, but that's not what we see at school, the teacher said gently. His parents sat in stunned silence. Had they been so busy that they failed to notice what was happening to their own son? Chapter 6. The Harsh Truth. That evening, Tom's parents observed him carefully. They noticed how often he checked his phone, even during meals. He barely paid attention to conversations and seemed restless when not using the device. His father sighed. We've been so busy that we didn't even see this coming. His mother wiped away a tear. We need to do something before it's too late. That night, they decided to take action. Chapter 7. The struggle begins. At first, they tried to reason with Tom. Son, your studies are suffering. You need to reduce your phone usage, his father said. But Dad, I use it for learning too, Tom argued. His mother tried a softer approach. We're not saying you can't use it at all, Tom. Just limit the time. But Tom wasn't ready to listen. Finally, his father locked his phone away in a drawer. Tom was furious. This is unfair. You don't understand me, he shouted. His parents felt helpless. Would they ever be able to bring their son back? Chapter 8. A New Beginning. Tom was restless without his phone. He felt empty, as if a part of him was missing. His mother noticed and had an idea. Let's introduce him to books again. His father agreed. That evening, he handed Tom a novel. Read this, son. Just one chapter before bed. Tom frowned but took the book. At first, he read half-heartedly. But as he continued, he got lost in the story. That night, for the first time in months, he slept peacefully. Chapter 9. The Power of Books. The next day, his mother gave him another book. Slowly, Tom rediscovered the magic of reading. Books transported him to different worlds, sparking his imagination and curiosity. He started spending more time with books than with his phone. His concentration improved, and his mind became sharper. Chapter 10. The Transformation. Tom's teachers noticed the change. Tom, you're back, Mrs. Sharma said, smiling. His friends were happy too. We missed this version of you. His parents were relieved. Books saved him, his mother whispered. Tom finally understood. I was wasting my time, but reading brought me back. Chapter 11. The Lesson of a Lifetime. Tom now used his phone only when necessary. He had learned the importance of self-control and balance. One day, he stood before his class and said, "A phone can be your best friend or your worst enemy. It's up to you to decide." The moral. Tom's journey teaches us that technology is powerful, but without control, it can take over our lives. The right habits, like reading and self-discipline, can help us regain focus and success. Balance is the key to a better life.